Welcome to another installment in the SABR series of lessons. SABR, if you don't know what it means, is small adjustments, big results. What I'm going to do in this series is teach you something simple, but something that makes a big difference to your playing. And that's what we like. Alright, this lesson we're going to talk about stopping you from accidentally bending strings. Now it's something a lot of players do, but they don't realise they do, especially newbies. For instance, the most common one is a G. If you play a G chord, it does tend to happen a lot in the early stages. This, have a listen. That sounds, dear God, terrible. That's like one of the worst sounds I think I've heard all day. You hear it? Now, if you've got a good ear, you should be able to hear that straight away. If you're still developing your ear and your oral skills, which to be fair, all of us are, and we all have to start somewhere, nobody's born with a great ear, then it's not as obvious, it's not as noticeable. But what's happening is, I'm bending this low E string, and pulling it down, and I'm bending it out of tune. Now, you don't want to bend any string at all when you're playing a chord, and what you do want is this. And what you don't want is this. Oh. Okay, that's very exaggerated, but even though I just moved that finger a fraction, bend it slightly. Hear that? It starts to go out of tune. Now in tune, out of tune, awfully out of tune. Oh my God, somebody shoot me. Only joking, please don't. Okay, so keep an eye on that, and mostly keep an ear on it. When you're playing, listen, always listen, particularly when you're playing these chords. If they're a bit of a stretch, there is a chance that you might end up bending a string out of tune. It may happen if you're playing with light strings. It may happen if you've got a wider neck, because you've got to stretch that a little bit further. It's not just on a G chord it happens, it will happen on a C chord as well. A lot of people struggle with the stretch. Sometimes they'll push the A string, the C note, up, and it starts to go out of tune. What you want to do is think about this and take your time. Play a couple of the chords that you struggle on. If they don't quite sound right and everything's in tune with your guitar, then it's possibly something to do with bending it out of tune. It's so common. And all you have to do is try and compensate by going the other way to what's natural. For instance, if you're pulling the strings down, think about making a conscious effort to push it up. Okay, it will be difficult to actually push it up that far that it goes out of tune. And if you do start getting it out of tune by pushing up, just compensate again by pulling down a little bit. And eventually you'll go either side and eventually hit the perfect spot in the middle. But one of the things you want to do as well is play with a light touch. So don't press too hard and don't get too much tension in the claw-like hand. You know, and that will help stop that as well. It's such a small thing, it's such a small adjustment that you're playing. Just make sure you're firstly conscious of it and aware of it happening. Secondly, make sure you stop doing it. So if you're pulling down, you're aware of what you're doing, so you can start pushing up a little bit more. And then thirdly, adjust until you can get it bang on in the middle and it sounds great. Have a listen. Sounds good? Sounds bad. And that's pulling down. This is pushing up. Bad. Okay. And watch the strings as well. You know, one thing you can always do is have a look. If you're not sure if it's in or out, if you're bending the strings at all, the gaps are going to start increasing or decreasing between the strings. You don't want those gaps to change. You want to push that string down exactly where it's situated. Right, that's such a big thing. It makes people who are getting decent at guitar sound like complete amateurs, when in fact that one small adjustment will turn that all around and make them sound pretty good straight away. It's the sort of thing that can ruin your playing. That's why it's in the SABR series of lessons, because a small adjustment that will mean a big result. You know, if you don't adjust it and you keep making this mistake, it'll sound bad and it will make people cringe. It's that bad. You heard it yourself. It's just god awful. But you make a small adjustment and get those strings sounding in tune. Those chords will sound pleasurable and just as they're meant to be. You'll get a lot more confidence and your audience will love it too. Right, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please comment, subscribe and all that sort of stuff. I always love your comments on YouTube. I reply to them all. It always means a lot to me. And if you want some free ebooks, head to guitardomination.net, which is my website. Right, most of all, enjoy, apply these SABR lessons to your playing, and rock on. And I'll see you in a video soon. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck. Cheers. Bye bye.